Welcome, everybody, to the Scouting Academy Clinics. Our guest today, Geoff Schwartz, hit us with a different idea. He wanted to tackle a concept in empty protections. And so we tackled a little cut up for you guys, and we're going to go through that. Geoff's a former NFL player, was with 4 teams, has the luxury of being with Chip Kelly back in the Oregon days, and then all the way through the NFL side, and it's been with some excellent coaches. So really excited to bring his expertise to this area. So, Geoff, how are you doing today?
I'm fantastic. I'm glad to be here. And yes, I did choose a concept because I talk a lot about scheme, obviously, and I get asked a lot of questions about why things are done and whatnot. And I really want to stress the importance of rules, of having rules when plays are put together. I feel like people don't understand that. I feel like empty protection, which is what we're going to go over, is the best way to show why rules matter and why they need to be followed and why everyone needs to know what's happening. So that there's no confusion on the field. It's the best way to show that the value, in my opinion, of rules and why we do things a certain way in the NFL.
Makes perfect sense. Well, we got to do our usual thank yous to a couple groups that help us put this on. The first one is to Telemetry Sports for allowing us to make these cut-ups, such an easy tool for that. The link is in the description below. Secondly is the NFL for providing GamePass and making this NFL film available to us. In fact, it's free through May 31st, so please take advantage of that. All right, so we only have 13 plays here, but again, the concept being empty, and so we're going to see some times where we have some motion out of the backfield. But when we're talking empty, give the 101 on what you mean by an empty protection.
So empty protection is the 5 offensive linemen blocking the 5 most dangerous players. It's not always going to be the same 5 guys, but there are rules involved with all protections, and it makes sure that number 14 right there knows what's happening. And also make sure that the wide receivers know what they're doing on their hot routes. And the best way to explain all of this is typically empty protection. So if we go forward here, actually it's interesting first one that we started with here because they're not really following what I would say is general rules, but a lot of this can also be understood based off of what you've done with film studies. So if you just stop it here, easy enough. You would say 5 for 5, right? There's 5 offensive linemen. There's 5 guys right there. But in this case, they're going to send everyone over to the right to number 50 over here. But because everyone's on the same page, they all can make this work. So that means now that number 70, KO, now has to have the guy over Ryan Khalil, 49. The quarterback, Sam Darnold, knows. They're sliding to the right, sliding to 50. 49 is my hot guy. If 49 comes, I have to find a hot answer. So when we're all on the same page, knowing what we're doing, number 14 can make this happen. So I would have just said, look, we're going to block the box and we'll throw off 50, but depending on where Sam's hot was or sight was, wherever that was at for the play, they decide to go in a different direction. So we can run this here and you can see what it looks like. It's odd to slide past the guy, but Ryan does it here. Let's see here.
Speed it up a little bit here.
So Sam knows that now. They actually just turned the entire line, I think, here. So this is pretty interesting. They just said, look, we're going to slide everyone to the right, which is fascinating because there's not a lot of guys on the right. Like you should be able to see in the boundary a bunch of dudes. There's no one over there. So I don't know why. Look, it's just a young quarterback doing young things, in my opinion. But look, Darnold knows I have to throw the ball right now. And this is why, again, rules are supremely important because he knows I have an extra guy. That's my extra guy. Boom. Ball should be out. But really, they could have blocked this in a way where that's not the case. And now, obviously, the defense, 49 right here, Edmonds is going to try to trap this little slant, this little hot route, which a lot of teams try to do now. They drop the middle linebacker out and try to get him to take this inside slot kind of guy right here, which Darnold's not going to throw to. But that's their teams defense have figured out what an offense is going to do on these hot protections.
So this is a hell of a deal for McDermott when both of your 3 techniques and the mic drop out so that you can overload on this one.
Yeah, I mean it's and they're really they actually both those guys end up covering wide receivers and Le'Veon Bell. Like they end up doing their job. Now Sam sees it obviously, and I wonder what happens on the throw here, but Sam does a really good job here. I think Darnold's going to be good. I mean that's pretty good to know where your answers are there. This here's a 4th and 2. It's looks like a 2-point play, it appears, but there we go right there. Let's go to the end zone here. Again, 4 down. and you take the most dangerous. Now, you can see here the way that this is set up, they're actually going with, I think they're IDing this. Oh, this is pretty interesting. Can you let this run real quick?
Yeah.
Just in here. Wow, that's actually really interesting. What do they do? Huh. This is really interesting. It's amazing how many of these that they end up just like kind of fudging. I mean, oh man, keep going. Yeah, it's just trying to. Wow. I mean, the problem with this one is there's so much that they could have done, but they did none of it. I mean, it looks like they're going with like a 4 down, and we're gonna ID the guy over sheriff is the 5th, but wow. I mean, because either you can't have sheriff go left and Donald Penn go right, the left tackle. Sure. Like you can't have both do it at the same time. So this is a situation where, and I think that who's that, Keenum, the quarterback?
Yep.
He knows that I think this is a mental error by sheriff right here. I think because he should have the 3 technique. They're all going to the right, and Cousins looking at the defensive end on the offense's left, Khalil Mack over there. He knows he's hot off Khalil Mack, but the center, it's interesting. The left side's doing one thing, the center and right guard are doing something else, and then Moses is doing their own things. This is how stuff can bust really easily if you don't follow your rules. This is not ideally how you would design this or even talk about it in film. There's got to be a mental error here at some point.
You're talking about these two would come off, pick up 97, you're just throwing hot off.
Yeah, throwing off one. Yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, he gets it out. But again, like this is the important part about the rule stuff is that Keenum knows that 52 is hot. He doesn't know. He's not looking at 97, right? He's looking right at 52.
Yeah.
He knows that he got to get the ball out now because 52 is going to get hit. So even though the offensive line screws it up, I think they're on the same page with Keenan, which is most important.
Like you said, it's a unit-based position. That's always the thing that I like when you guys drive home when people are watching this is you're trying to, people pick out the individuals, but it's a massive unit effort to get any of this done.
This one here is just a blown. I remember watching this. You sent this over. This one here is interesting. This is just so here. Run this real quick here. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, this is just a misassignment by 78 here, I think. And look, a lot of these is there's open to interpretation depending on what you do in the offensive line room, right? But you have a look here where it's 5 down, right? So you have 5 for 5. And the extra guy is 38, I believe that's his name. Now, he can line up over Yanda, the right guard, or it could be over 77, the left guard. Either side, right guard, right tackle, or left guard, left tackle, will have this player if he comes in the A gap. Because you have to block the 5 most dangerous. And when he lines up he basically is in the heels of the down lineman at the snap, which makes him now. And Yanda does, no surprise, does an awesome job here of doing this. Basically, Yanda sets back. If you look at the snap, go back to the beginning. Watch how he sets back. Okay, he buys himself a little bit of time. He sets back one more kick back because he knows he has time to come back inside. And when Yanda keeps going back a couple kicks, it widens a 3 technique out for 78 to come down and make that block. 78 should come down and make that block. If Yanda goes right now to block the linebacker, the 3 technique is running, boom, like right now.
Yeah.
So, but again, Jackson knows he's hot off 1, and he knows he's hot off, like someone's coming free now. He knows. He sees him right there. He doesn't expect it to be the linebacker. He expects it to be the D end. But Yanda does a really good job here. God, I'm gonna miss Yanda playing.
It's going to be less enjoyable to watch football.
And he already lost a bunch of weight too, man. Like
I know, I saw that interview.
Yeah.
And then Lamar making Lamar plays.
Of course, I think he threw this one away though. Yeah, that was smart of him. But still, I mean, pretty impressive. Most guys would be done here.
Oh yeah.
4th and 11. So this situation. This is a prime zero blitz. This is zero blitz right here. If you look at a zero pressure, everybody. If you want to go back to the wide here too.
Sure. So
zero pressure is when you have man coverage across the board and no safety, right? There's zero safety in the middle of the field. So it's just man to man. And 4th and 11, in like a game-winning situation is the exact time to do this, because you know as a defense that if there's 5 wide receivers, there's only 5 blockers, and you send one extra, you force the quarterback to throw the ball hot, right? Or he's not going to do it here because they have to score a touchdown. But you know the ball has to be out quickly. This is a prime example of a time when the offense knows what you're doing and the defense knows what you're doing. They all know, and now you have to see who can execute in this time. This is blocked really well by the Giants here, and Jones buys himself a little bit of time and puts the ball up there, and it doesn't get caught, but actually PI, I believe, hold of some sort. So you see here they're communicating. They're really a really good job. Halapo,
Halapio there.
Yeah, he's pointing left, so they're sliding to the left here. That's easy on the left side, right? 1, 2, 3, and now it's up to the right side, the right guard and right tackle to block 2 of the 3 most dangerous. They got 2 of those 3 guys who they have to come with the most. And you see, Remmers is pointing at 32 right now. He goes, "I got him. He's in my B gap. Here he comes. I'm going to take him." The right tackle does. This is what we see where teams have good communication. We haven't seen that yet. We haven't seen any teams pointing out, talking about it, figuring out where they're going. And they blocked this really, really well. And Jones knows I'm hot off one front side, but there's no real hot. It's 4th and 11. They have to score. But the concept of being hot, and here they go. They let it run here, and it's all blocked up really well. No one's rushing to get their spot. They're taking their time to get there. Remmers is now in this situation. I mentioned Yanda bought himself some time, but with 32 there now, you have to go now. You don't have time to kick back. You'll never make it there in time. And then the ball gets out in time, and it's really well blocked.
It really is.
Boom. Yeah,
really is. Just one more time on that right side.
I think the left side. So you have a tendency, like if you're Will Hernandez, the left guard here, to really like vacate that vacate number 90 and just go block 35 now. But you don't have to do that. You see, if he leaves him his hand, and then I think 90 is Ashawn Robinson, whoever it was. Oh, Trey. It's who's
Flowers. Yeah,
Flowers. Flowers then basically whiffs because Hernandez kind of just kept his hand out there, knowing that he was going to remove it, eventually block 35. It's a really good job by him of just kind of staying in there, not rushing, because he knows the center has to get over there. So there's no point to rush. There's no point in running out there. 35 is not beating you around the edge. So just take your time, and he does a good job there.
Yeah, that came together beautifully on that one.
Zeitler does well at right guard too.
And they get a little flag. They get a little flag.
Yeah. Some of these PIs are ridiculous.
There's no doubt. There's no doubt.
This one's
Sean Payton's over here vacating the quads.
This one's really good because, we talk a lot about, we've talked now about guys picking up linebackers as they come. And you see here, this is just a 3 jet protection, empty protection. They're going to slide to 43. So 58 is a guy that both the left guard and left tackle have to watch, right? So the center's going there. The left guard and left tackle have got to have 58 to the there we go. They have those 3 guys, right? 2 of 3. But 58 is currently 5 yards off the ball right now. So when you think about who's most dangerous here, because again, you take 2 or 3 most dangerous, you would say at the snap, the 3 technique and Chandler Jones are the most dangerous. So Andres Pete and Armstead are not going to block 58. So while it seems like there's a mental mistake here, there's no reason to block 58. He takes the longest to get to the quarterback. So this is actually blocked very well, even though it's like, oh my God, a guy's running through the middle of the A gap. How could the offensive line let that happen? Well, Breeze knows that if a guy starts that deep in the backfield, that deep in the defense, it's on Drew to figure it out, and he does. Does a really good job here of the left guard, like knowing, like, okay, I have that guy, but I'm not going to block him. 98 is more dangerous than 58 is, which is true. So
point, Drew gets that thing out of there beforehand.
Like Breeze sees it, he knows. Oh, there he's coming. This is why, again, like the communication stuff is just so important. And Pete does a good job. Let me see Pete's block. He does a good job here. Long arm, gets it off of him. Watch the left guard here. His hands are bad at the start. He gets beaten right there, and then he does a really good job knocking 98's hand. Look at that. Hands off, creates a little separation, and right there. Good job.
And so they end up taking these 3 over these 3, and then Drew's responsible here.
Yeah, because he's starting so far in this 5 yards away. Like if you're the left guard here and you go take that guy right now, 98 is going to run free, right? I mean, 98 is going to hit Drew before 58 gets there.
Sure. And then you had 56 screaming off the edge as well.
Yeah. The ball's out. Big, what a surprise. So here's a good one. Let's see here. Close game.
And Patricia bringing that New England philosophy to defense. A lot of people moving around in the front.
So this is the same situation here where, you know, the linebacker's just coming so late. There's no reason to block them. And again, I think the casual person would say, hey, this is a busted assignment by the offensive line. But no, it's not. It's actually very well blocked. He's starting so 40 is at the snap of the ball is going to be so far off the line of scrimmage. There's no point in blocking him. This is on Derek Carter to figure it out, and he does. So if we run right here, they see 5 for 5. This is super easy. And
so just count them up for everybody at home. Yeah. We got our 5 defensive players there.
And then, you know, let this play run here. And you know, I mean, look at 40's all the way over there. Why would you block him? I mean, by the time if you took, let's say, the center 68, 66, and 72 and told them to all block to the left to block 40, the Kennard 42 would come in and kill Carr. He'd kill him. So, you know, I know you're watching at home. You're like, man, it's a blown assignment, right? It's not. Carr gets the ball out, and they get a long gain here. A little Chip Kelly mesh concept.
Bringing back the good old days for you there. I just want to. I like these blocks here. That they did a good job.
Yeah, they do a good job, and you see like you see their hips, especially 68 here. And if you watch it, he punches and then he rolls his hips a tiny bit. I don't know how PG this is, but my O-line coach used to say, you know, in the run game, you give him everything, right? But in the pass game with your hips, you give him just the tip. It's just a little bit of hip rotation, a little bit of thrust. And you look at 68 right here, you can see he's kind of just moving his hips a little bit, just a little bit of hips. You see as he settles in right here to finish his ball right there. You see that right there?
He's up and under.
Yeah. And that's hips. It's your hips and your base underneath you. People often think that pass protection is just a punch. And you can see over the left guard, Incognito is jacking that guy up. Now he's a different, some guys block with more of a punch. You don't always have to do that. You could use what 68's doing here, but there's different ways to get things done.
And it just creates such a window. I mean, obviously Carr's got someone bearing down, but there's a hell of a lot better picture here with him washing Ashawn out of it.
Yeah, it's a great job. And then the ball's out, and oh man, can't get run down running back.
That's supposed to be all you right there.
I know.
Well, let's see. Denver here take on Minnesota. So this is the rookie here, Locke.
Little Mike Zimmer action.
That's never an easy third down package to confront.
Let's see here. So this is good. So here we go here. Just run this for me real quick. Let me see something.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, perfect. Okay, so they're IDing this to where they're sliding to the right. So Ron Leary, 65 and 68 have 54. And easy enough, right? And Locke knows he's hot off the other guy, but let me see here. Let this run real quick here. So you see here, they're sliding to the right. Boom, easy enough. Guys running free, and Locke knows. But look at the technique that Ron Leary is using. It's the right guard here. You notice that he's not going anywhere. If you watch him, he sets right there. He's got eyes to 54 because 54 could go anywhere, right? And he has his hand on the center. He's kind of helping him out there, knowing that most linebackers and defensive backs are going to try to beat you inside. Inside's the quickest way to the quarterback. So Ron Leary knows that. He's staying really tight to the center, knowing that, hey, I'll force 54 to go outside of me, knowing that that's longer than if he tries to go inside. And so he's just kind of patiently waiting. He's waiting. He comes off. He makes the play. And Brandon Allen makes a good throw here.
Yeah, I'm going to get forward the YouTube comments get me. Yes, I was wrong. Not Locke. It's Brandon Allen.
Oh, geez, people.
Always got to watch out for those YouTube comments.
Come on, people.
It's all right. I'll take my lumps.
I like this one right here. Just guys walking around everywhere.
All right, so we got to talk about kind of the rules and I know it's going to be different depending on how they install it, but just kind of the thought process of trying to communicate against one of these fronts. Some people call it radar. Or
radar, or spinners. Or so go play this for a second.
Yeah.
Okay, so you see what Joel Bitonio just did right there? He kind of gave like a that means it means double duel. So basically, what you're going to do here is, it's funny. I use that all the time. I never seen a lot of guys use the same thing before. That means double duel. So what you're going to do is you're basically going to split this into two sides. The center right here has a 0 nose. He's locked. He's man on man. Then you have the left side, 77, 74. I mean, the right side, I should say. They have 2 of whoever comes. So it could be 2 of 36 to 40. And even if 54, let's say, came all the way over to the other side, if he's one of the 2 most dangerous, he's theirs. And then Bitonio and Greg Robinson I was going to make a joke about Greg, but I feel bad for him, are going to have the left side of the line of scrimmage, and whoever comes on that side. And a lot of these, and this is why communication and playing with the same group of players helps a lot, because a lot of these are really, I'm going to set back and see who comes to me. And in this case right here, with all this walking around, that's what Joel Bitonio is telling everyone right now. He's the most veteran guy in this group. Like, hey guys, double duel, kind of just set back and see who comes to you. So I'm curious of how they end up making this work. Now 64, that gives a 5 down call, I think, which I don't really understand if Bitonio's not doing that. But so there we go. The snap right there. You see, good job by both sides. So let's start on the right side here. This is really good job by 74 by Hubbard. So you see here that at the snap, just go right before the snap. If you can just go back a tiny bit. Okay, right there. So if this ball snapped right now, 74 and 77 have 36 to the D tackle, right? Boom, right now. Close the door. Got to come right now. But 74 knows that, you know what? I still have to watch 2 of 3 because 36 might not come. Let's film study and whatnot. So he goes in there like he should. And look, should he have set back just to set a tab before going inside? Probably not, honestly. I think this is the speed of this is okay. But he does a really good job of knowing who his secondary guy is. So he sees, oh crap, my guy didn't come. Who's my next guy? This is really good here. This is a veteran player who knows what he's doing, who's confident in his ability, and is getting shit done. He knows my guy drops, who's my next guy? Really good job here. The left side blocks us really well as well. So with those guys standing up right there, you could see that both 75 and 78 kind of step back for a second to kind of sort things out, right? Now, on the other side, Hubbard went right now. I think that it's okay the way that either side did this. It works out well. It just takes, Greg Robinson a little bit of time to close the door. But you see they both set back. They both see both the guys are coming. They both just react and block those guys. There's a common misconception, I think. Look at 78 here. That can you run this a tiny bit forward here?
Yeah.
Okay. Keep going a little bit more. Right there. Okay. So there's a common misconception that when a guy goes inside of you in pass protection, that you have to work your way in front of him and like get your body in front of him. What you have to do is move him further than he wants to go. And taking him across the pocket like this allows Baker to get the ball off. Now, Greg Robinson's late on doing this. He should have done this sooner, and he did get edged. But you see a little finish right there when the guy goes inside right about there as Baker's throwing the ball. You see, ideally, the pass rusher would like to rush up that hash to get to Baker. But Greg Robinson does not try to get in front of him. He doesn't waste time doing that. He says, I'm going to take you further than you want to go. And a lot of coaches teach this idea of getting in front of somebody. I don't like that. I think you should take him further than he wants. An inside move, just wash him all the way down. The quarterback can step up, step aside of you and make this happen, which Baker Mayfield does here. So I like what Greg's doing. He's a little late to making this move, but he does a great job of when he commits to doing it, being physical and removing 53, I think it is, from the area where Baker's going to throw the ball.
See, I love that point because when I was coaching D-line, we loved it when they tried to get their hips in front because they never had a good base. And we just teach him to convert to power. So if 78 wanted to get his hips across you, you're just going to come and hit him thick and try to knock him back. Whereas those guys that come to wash you, it's so hard to have a 300 and something pounder pressing on one side of you and running you and still trying to stay vertical. We liked it a hell of a lot more when they got their hips in front.
So that's yes, I that's a great point from the D-line perspective is you're less powerful when you try to move your body in front of him than just kind of almost like trapping him right here and take him out of the picture.
And then Baker again reading off his hot and at least giving a shot downfield.
Poor Greg Robinson, he can't watch this right now.
All right, so let's see Pittsburgh.
Oh no, Rudolph, come on. But you play the old Tony Romo spin out. I like it.
Little spin move there.
Let's see here. They're going to the right here. It's not Rudolph. Who's this? This is like
Duck Hodges?
Old Ducky. Oh, they're going left here. So they're going. This is pretty simple right here. I mean, they're going left, and you see 71, the right tackle realizes my guy's not going to come and go help to Castro. Now the center should know that this guy's going to cross his face because there's so many guys coming from the left that he's not going to rush straight. Like he just, there we go. Does a good job getting there eventually. And Hodges had to see this. I mean, this is just bad. It's blocked. This is out of all those we've watched so far. This one's pretty easy. It's just like the guys coming to you block them.
And that's one of those things again for the quarterbacks as they get more experience. You notice when these guys drop that probably from the other side.
Like, I mean, you got to hit 89 right now. Like, boom, right? Like, I know he hits him later, but you got to hit him now. That's
move for the wing.
Now. Yeah, you got to do that. Oh boy, some Josh Allen here. Some wildness is going to happen.
Bills Mafia will enjoy this one, I'm sure.
Oh, they hate me. I don't think it's even Josh Allen, is it?
Is this Barkley?
I think it's Barkley.
Well, Bills Mafia will still be happy with you.
Oh no!
All right, let's bring this to the end copy.
Okay, so I'm curious to see what they're doing here. Let's see what they're doing here. Interesting. All right, this one when you watch this one, when you send this over to me, it's interesting what they're doing here. So go back a little bit more, just a little. I want to see the communication here between.
Sure. Let's see where our camera guy spliced it up here. Here we go.
There we go. Interested to see what they're. Okay, walk through here. Interesting. The center gives 2 points.
I was going to ask you about that because, again, just for everybody here, we got one. It almost looks like we're identifying there.
And he realizes that guy's too far away. We don't have to block him.
And then now he points up. It looks like Hewitt here.
Yeah, but 67 doesn't get the memo. Let's see here. But 67 doesn't get the memo, right? So 61 does. Now 61 was already coming there. So center originally points out left to 58, I believe that is, all the way out there. He then changes his mind, which is fine, and goes back inside, but the left guard doesn't get the message here. This is one we've watched a lot of these where a lot of guys are running free that are not the fault of the offensive line. This one is for sure. You look at the center here, he knows he's trying to switch off. He sees him coming, he looks right at him, boom, he passes. Good job passing 61 to Long. Right there, and Spain should be right there, and boom. And this should be done. This should be done right now. Now the tackle gets beat, so Barkley gets hit. This is one so far we've watched where we've had a lot of guys, a lot of mistakes made by the quarterback, or at least guys running free, not really mistakes. This one here is 100% on the offensive line. They got to get over and make this block. But you could see where being, and look, we change points all the time, but being really powerful with your communication and saying, hey, we have this guy. You're at home, right? There's no excuse for not hearing any of this stuff. But you can see how a mistake up front can really get a quarterback hurt.
Absolutely.
And then Barker does a good job of getting the ball out, though. Should be caught, obviously.
No, I like that point on being, talking through the multiple, mic calls there and how they set that up. So I think this is the Kyle Allen tenure here.
Oh, here we go.
Carolina. We're seeing a lot of backup quarterbacks with empty protection.
Yeah, I don't know if that's ideal, but it's where we're at. All right, let's see here. So let's see what we got here. Let's let this run real quick so I can see what we got here.
So we had the nickel also.
Yeah, like this thing, like Allen's just not paying attention. Like I go back to the. Can you go back to all the way to the?
Oh yeah.
I'm curious about if they had anything built in here for this. All right, go ahead. The slots built in for this. Yeah, right now. No, it's not really built in. I think the is that McCaffrey? McCaffrey's probably the hot right here, but they don't have anything. They don't have anything built in for this, so it's why Allen takes this routine, this route right here. I mean,
you're talking about here having a route adjustment off of this guy coming.
Yeah, but yeah, he's the hot guy. He should just turn right now and get the ball.
And that is a pretty common thing.
Yeah. So basically, and this is what, like, if you were like, if I was designing this defense right here, I would almost I would send the slot like he does, then take the backer over there and run him right over there right now. And then to put 22 down, take 22 and put him down onto right there. And then you'd be able to trap the hot right there. And you could get Allen in a lot of trouble. Now they might do that eventually, at some point, but that would be a recipe for a pick six if you're the Saints.
Sure. So
maybe Scott Turner's offense just doesn't have a lot of hots built in. So as I think Dennis Allen, he runs the defense in New Orleans now. You know that hey, we're not going to have to do that this week because they're not building in any hots, right? So I'm just saying, if I thought the team was going to do run a hot route, that's how you could get it, get an easy turnover. But obviously, these guys watch more film than I do. But it's Allen sort of sees it. The line sliding at 52 here. Good job of who's the right tackle here? I can't see the number. That's not
Daryl. He's on one side.
Greg Moten.
Yep. Or Taylor.
Yeah, Taylor. Yeah. Because Greg Moten's, I think, actually left tackle. Good job here. Oh yeah. Daryl Williams is playing left guard here. Wow.
He was everywhere last year.
Man, he was about to make a lot of money.
So again, with nothing out here in terms of a route for him to immediately go to,
you got to figure out what to do. It's just not sound offense sometimes. You gotta. He hits McCaffrey. Obviously, McCaffrey's really good. So he makes something out of nothing, but just not the best concept ever.
No, a heck of a
move back. If you ever just want to watch some film on empty, just go watch New England for the last 20 years with Tom Brady. I mean, they run so much empty. And here they come. Oh, Fitzy.
This one's going to be like the Cleveland against Baltimore play a little while ago in terms of let's look at the communication, figure out how the hell Miami was trying to mark this up. Here they are trying to identify.
You see 77's like, hey, what am I doing here?
Bring it back from the second the video guy gives us our angle.
So, all right. So,
got a couple of points.
Here they come. I mean, look, and you see, it's interesting here where you see some of these, some of these, who did we see earlier that dropped out the D tackle and trapped somebody? Oh, the Bills did, right?
The Bills did, yeah.
You see here, 70 is doing the same thing for the Patriots. He's running out there trying to get himself a quick little intercept or, get in the way somehow. But, I mean, did Landry drop this ball? Who's that? Stills dropped this ball? Who's oh man, oh no. Oh no.
15 is Albert Wilson, maybe?
Carew? I don't know who that is. Did he say his name? So yeah, these can get pretty simple, right? I mean, go ahead. So you see 77 takes a peek over at 58. Because you look here, they're sliding to the left, so not a big concern. So 77 has a decision to make. Who's most dangerous here? Now, if I was doing this, I would block the linebacker. I would do 77 did right there, and widen out and come in the linebacker. This is a really tough call. Go back real quick.
Yeah.
This is interesting.
So they set this thing to the left, it looks like.
Yeah, that part's simple because they can only send one from over there or two, I guess, and they send both. But interesting. It's not really. I don't think it's a wrong decision for 77 to do this here because he does make contact with the end right there. But it's almost a coaching thing and a personal preference. If I was at right tackle, the way I've been taught, I probably would have blocked the linebacker.
Because inside's the fastest track to the quarterback.
Yeah, but I mean, when you're watching film like this now, it feels like the DN is the quicker path at the moment, right? Probably. Sure. But on the field, it probably doesn't feel that way. So that's why I don't think it's a wrong decision. And his kick slide is way too high right there. But it's not a bad decision. Fitz sees it, and Fitz gets the ball out. And watch how much Fitz fades to the left. Interesting. Goes left. Oh no! God, he is a lot of fun to watch. Oh man,
There's no doubt. He
is special to watch.
That's a heck of a conflict to put that right tackle in on that one.
I know, but I mean that's the point, right?
Absolutely. Make it where he can't make a good decision.
Yeah.
So we get Baltimore again.
There's a lot of fun on these, man. There's so much happening. This one's easy from the top.
I think this one's our last plan.
This one's easy to see here. Go back real quick.
Sure.
So what's interesting is that most often linebackers that aren't moving like this are the ones that actually blitz. I think people get a misrepresentation of guys like they think only guys that are moving or bring pressure, but this kind of looks like it's going to happen, right? You see all the defenders are in a weird position right now. That's not really quarters coverage, right? Because quarters coverage is 4 guys, right? It's not going to be 5. So they're like they're all 10 yards off the ball. I don't know what down it is, but it's very clearly like, okay, they're running some sort of man coverage here, right? Because the safeties are also in man coverage position. Well, it's first down. It's not really a zero pressure type of down, but obviously based off of play calling. But they're all it's very clear it's man. It's like, oh, okay, well,
because you're noticing that right away with the 5 back here, you're thrown off because it's like you said, it's not a quarters look.
It's not a cover 3. Like it's just like it's a man coverage look. Like the safeties being that low, it looks like now the one thing that I think throws Lamar off a little bit is they motion the running back out of the backfield and they don't adjust with the linebacker, which is how you'd adjust if it was man coverage, right? Like you would put the linebacker, like to him, that's a zone. Motions like that are for man zone reads, right? So you motion a guy out, and in this situation, if the linebacker comes with the running back, it's man coverage, right? Man coverage. If a safety maybe travels, okay, man coverage. But if they adjust by bumping the corner out, then you think zone. But in my opinion, the giveaway is that why would you rarely see 5 defenders like this? Like a picket fence. It's very clear in my mind, now looking back on it, obviously, they're trying to get you to throw hot at 10 yards and then pick the ball off, right? Or make a play, right? Stick route, boom, make the play. So let's let this run here. This one's as simple as it gets, right? I mean, you got and so they're sliding right here. And so this is a pretty interesting one here because this is they're very much coached to do this here. So if I was look at if I was 79 here, Stanley, I would 100% be blocking the defensive end.
Because he's so far back.
Yeah, look, by the time Johnson throws the ball, he's not even at the line of scrimmage yet almost. He's right there, right? I mean, it's nice to have a mobile quarterback. I mean, half the league is getting sacked right there. Look at the right tackle throw a punch. It's a good punch right there by Orlando Brown. Right tackle. Boom.
Yeah, Correa felt that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you because this is a designated. I mean, that's what they drafted Landry to do is go get the quarterback.
Yeah, and then you don't have but this is stuff about why sometimes it's really hard to be so to be so critical watching film because Stanley was clearly coached to do this. It's not like he's making a mental error, right? Because that's the way that they've coached him to do this. Is hey, if a guy comes, he's yours, take him. But obviously, looking back on it, you'd be like, that's probably not the right decision, right? I mean, there's the easiest guy to hit the quarterback is obviously going to be the defensive end. But again, he's not wrong. That's just not the way he's coached to do it.
It makes sense. Makes sense. And then we get it up in the air and try.
Oh, no.
All right. So your thoughts going through empty, especially when you're getting a lot of 6-man pressures.
I just think that there's a lot of complexity to this, and I think that you really have to be on the same page. You saw the teams that weren't on the same page that couldn't get the quarterback killed. And there's a general idea that you can see that you have rules, right? They had a SIF, they had a duel, they had a double duel, they had a bunch of these set up, and if one guy messes up, you're not making the play. And I just think that empty just fascinates me because you can see there's different techniques taught on different teams. It's not all universal. Quarterbacks and hot routes, not all universal. So just always, it feels there's always room for interpretation. It's fun to discuss these type of plays. Absolutely.
Well, you've been putting out a ton of great content lately, helping people learn more about it. Where can people find more from you?
Yeah, so my Twitter at Geoff Schwartz, good way to do it. Also, schwartznfl.com. I have a YouTube page. I just started putting some stuff up on my YouTube page. I think it's just, let me look it up. I think it's just Geoff Schwartz, I guess.
We'll make sure the link's in the description below to click on too.
I don't know, what do you like? Is there like a way to have a customized YouTube link? I don't even know.
Sure, there is.
But yeah, I just search for Geoff Schwartz, I guess. And that's who I am. So, I'm putting stuff out there. I've got a little thing on empty protection actually out there now, and yeah.
You've been leading the clinic on duo versus inside zone.
Oh, that's people don't understand that. They don't get it.
You get the flow chart you put out recently. We'll make sure that's linked somewhere too.
The flow chart is nice. It is nice.
It was well done.
Thank you.
And we put the graphic up for your podcast as well.
Yeah, my podcast. Yeah, Geoff Schwartz is smarter than you. We should be back fairly soon. We're taking a little post-draft break, but I'm hoping to get that back out soon. So, I'm busy, man. I stay busy.
Good. Well, we were really glad that you joined us today and spent some time with us.
Yeah, glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. As always, please, if you have some comments for us or hit the like button or subscribe, helps us keep this coming to you. Our social channels are below. You can hit us up there. We look forward to coming back with you soon.